As one senior source pointed out to me inside palace walls, it really did not have to be this way. It could have been a totally different situation. And then now what we're seeing is really Prince Harry being forced to grow up for the very first time, nearing 40 years old, all thanks to His Majesty the King and, of course, Queen Camilla. We're talking about Harry. Yes, as ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you. Let's have a wave today. You all right? Yes, thank you so much for joining me. And as ever, much appreciated. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Hope you're keeping well. Yes, the cold is abating. It's now in the head. Yeah, you know what it's, I know, shocking, isn't it? Vicks Vapor Rub's not what it was though, is it? Has anybody else tried that? It used to sort of knock your head off, didn't it? You could breathe easily. I think you'd have to stick your head in the jar and put the lid back on to get anywhere now. Everything's watered down, isn't it? It's never ever what you thought it was. And do you remember that other thing as well, Germaline ointment? Do you remember that? That used to stink the place out. You can barely sniff it now. That's terrible, isn't it? Ailments and all the tablets and things that go with it. Or is it just our sinuses getting less? Don't you dare. Yes, of course it's not. Yes, but back as ever to your breaking roll story of the day. Your sinuses are fine indeed, yes. Now, as we know, Prince Harry recently came over for the Well Child Awards. I had the opportunity to come and see his father. Didn't want to, couldn't be fagged, all that sort of stuff. But what he really wanted was free accommodation. I don't know about you, I wouldn't mind coming to London and saying, I tell you what, I fancy Windsor Castle. This is, of course, the same Windsor Castle that Prince Harry trashed in his book, novel, whatever you want to call it, Spare, basically talking about things hanging off the wall and how it was something of a dark place to be. Not dark enough, though, that Meghan Markle fancied living in there as Queen of the Castle until the real Queen booted her out that particular idea. Interesting also, people are now saying, well, you know, why did the King turn him down? Well, a lot of people are speculating as to where that story came from. And as ever, it always emulates back from once Prince Harry talks to anybody. He is a bit like loose-lipped is the word I would use. He will talk to anybody. You can get him to say anything because, you know, he just wants to unload. There's nobody for him to talk to anymore. He's got the chickens, the dogs and Meghan. It's hardly riveting company, really, is it, when you think about it? But more importantly, what I think is interesting here is simply this. You see, while they were more than happy for, of course, Harry to take some accommodation with notice in Windsor or indeed Buckingham Palace, there were a few stipulations. In fact, there would be no removal of artefacts. That's right, make of that what you will. No filming whatsoever. So the bottom line is he would have had to hand in his phone because after the debacle of those docu-series where they realised that in fact Harry and Meghan had been filming for some considerable time inside their home and other royal palaces, they don't want that again. What Harry's finding is, quite frankly, you know, it's the thumbscrews falling down. He can't dictate and say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I want. They're saying, these are our homes, you chose to move away, you've got your own home, make some of your own alternative accommodation arrangements if you don't like it. He did. We told you he stayed at a private members club inside central London. But it just proves how far the relationship has fallen. And more importantly, the fact that there's plenty of room. The line in the documentation about, well, you know, this is because, of course, lots of the staff were up in Scotland. There's plenty of staff. Quite frankly, if you want it bluntly, Harry, they didn't want you there. End of. As ever, it is a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.